There we go.
How are we feeling? How are we doing?
We are not well.
But like also happy. Like I was
happy.
I've been in so many chat groups with this show and like the overwhelming reaction of everyone. And it's all of them are people that have been romance readers for a long time.
Oh, interesting.
And a lot of them
should we introduce ourselves, fam?
Oh, should we do that? Or should we just jump in? Like, we assume this is just a conversation we've been having for the last 2 weeks.
Three of
us. Like, you are putting it live on ye old internet. So
yes. You start, Jen.
I will start. I am Jennifer Prokop, the co-host of the Fated Mates podcast, a romance novel podcast. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about romance today.
I'm Joanna Shupe.
Herrera, and I am a romance writer. And Shane and Ilya's adopted mother. I don't know.
We are their moms, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm Joanna Shupe, historical romance author. Heated Rivalry stan. Not as long as Adriana, but pretty close to the beginning.
Yeah, you're the one.
Like the student surpassed the master in this one because although I think I came back, like I think I had not been as attuned to the updates of the show. For Andrew, you're ruining my life.
Let's just say.
Anyway, so sorry, I'm in an Airbnb, guys. I think you like were more attuned to the development of the show updates. I don't think I locked in until right before the show came out.
I think I lost my mind when I saw the trailer.
Yes,
I was real skeptical, and then I saw the trailer, and it was like, oh, we're on. Like, this is happening.
See what's so funny? So everybody, this like famously, I'm not a TV watcher, right? Like I like joke. I'm like, I watch one show a year. And so I watched 3 this year, which is like really weird for me. I watched Reacher and Murderbot in the show. I also was like, oh, has it been a book I read? I guess I'll watch your show. But so like the fact that I not only like watch this show, but have, as you said, 7 different group chats, I'm a total fangirl is completely wild. That's how, right? Like, I mean, like we're really coming to it from way different.
Yeah.
Like even like TV watching praxis.
Yeah. And we're big too. And I mean, Joanna and I have like shows that we have had this, like she and I are both very big Gilded Age fans since the first season came out. And we check in with each other when the season's on. But I mean, I think the thing with the show is that it's actually, someone said, I think it was like Ira Madison. It's been really interesting to see gay men who are like culture critics, like people that I have, have followed for a long time, kind of like come into romance in this way, because really they are coming into a romance adaptation with a romance adaptation that is exceptional and a standout in every way that I could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
And I think that is why because to me, he said that it doesn't feel like an adaptation. It feels like creative interpretation of a work of fiction.
Yeah.
Like it's so close to the text and the beats of the romance are so close to the story that it almost is like you're watching a romance novel.
So 100%. It was really interesting. We had Julia Whalen on the podcast right before Sarah's book came out, right before Storms came out. And one of the things she said that was like fascinating, she's like, for most authors, right, the audiobook is like the first and most faithful adaptation of your work. Yeah. Right. And which is like a really interesting way to think about audiobooks. But I am not used to, and I'm not a person who feels like an adaptation has to be like, right, like perfect in order to be good, right? Like, but in this case, like the adaptation is so faithful to the text and and like all of the social media that like really honored the way it was faithful to the text, right? Like all of those great videos that like the Heated Rivalry Crave Instagram put out that was like, it's showing them on the beach and then like you'd see like the actual book below it. So, that's the part I think that as a romance reader and someone who has read and loved Heated Rivalry, thanks to you, Adriana, that's the part that was like really interesting to me, is seeing people like not even really understanding like what the show was doing because they don't know the genre as well, right? Like it's just
and let's be fair, like we've been burned with
so many
adaptations
so many times.
So many times.
Yeah.
So times. To see one that gets it right is just I can't describe it.
It's the possibility for me, right? Because we have done this so many times where like a book you've loved or whatever has been adapted and it really sucks out the life and all the things that you love about that book, especially with romance. And to me, like the possibility of like, wow, you can actually do this. You can actually do it. A romance novel and give it like breathe life into it, and it feels like you're like all the things that I love as a romance reader, that show gave me. And even the departures from the book just enhanced
amplified
the experience for me. And that is I honestly, like when we were watching it, kind of like we all watched it kind of around the same time last night, the last episode, and I was like undone. Like I was
not well.
From like, this is really tapping into something that is the place in me that loves romance novels more than anything.
Yes. Yeah. Like I think a good romance novel should make you feel the way this show made you feel, right? Yes. And that's the part, like I'm chasing that high with every book I try, every book I open. And I think the thing that's interesting, like in terms of like, so years ago when I think probably like when Bridgerton came on, I was interviewed by a woman, I think her name's Lauren Sarner at like the New York Post about sort of like the romance of it all. And one of the things I said, and I really like at that point, and up until the show kind of believed it to be true, is that like potentially one of the reasons romance novel adaptations are so bad is because like television as a medium, I was kind of like, maybe television as a medium is fundamentally at odds with romance as a medium, because the romance, like, right. So everybody, if you don't know, the promise of a romance novel is that it's going to end in either an HEA, happily ever after, or what we would call like what Heated Rivalry is, right? An HFN, happy for now. They are together. It's us against the world. Like we figured out, we are in a good place. We're literally in this case, we are moving forward together in the car, right? The car
driving into the motherfucking sunset.
Yes, right?
Jacob Tierney.
Oh, brilliant, right? But like in a TV show, right? Like if it's popular and good, all of a sudden it's like a cliffhanger. It's going to break people up. What is it that, right? Like everything about TV, especially like at some point, right? 6, 7 seasons into Buffy, it's like, how are we going to get people back? How are we going to, right, break whatever is happening? Whereas romance novels are about repair. Yes. How are we going to bring them together? And I, up until this show, really was like, they're going to be bad because what TV does is different than what romance does.
And I was wrong. We want to see them bang.
And the thing
sorry, we do.
Yeah, right.
Like I've been like kind of very like, we've been opining a lot online about it. And one of the things that someone was saying, like, is a TV producer or something. And he's like, I just don't understand how this has worked so well. And I'm like, the thing about it is that like romance story beats are organically cinematic.
Yes.
Like there are built-in highs, there are built moments of tensions, there are built-in lows, there are built-in moments of like climax that really like in the right hands, a good romance novel delivers everything that you need for a story to be cinematic.
Yes.
And I think that is where, because a lot of like the Bridgerton seasons, I've watched all of them. Queen Charlotte is my favorite, but I've watched all of them. And to me, probably Queen Charlotte is the one that has come the closest to delivering the feelings that Heated Rivalry delivered. And I think a lot of it is the chemistry between the actors. Like Hudson and Connor are stars.
Stars. Lightning in a bottle.
Yes.
It really is. I think like part of what will be like one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about is what happens now, because this feels like a cultural shift. And of course the algorithms are what they are.
Yeah.
But like the possibility of there's so much great romance out there, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, Heated Rivalry is one of my favorite books. I actually truly believe it probably is the best sports romance I've ever read. Like it is so, like the love story is so tied to their jobs that I think it's actually like as a sports romance, I don't think you can get better than Heated Rivalry.
Agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
But like I don't know how, like there's so much potential of so many different romance novels that deliver the same kind of feeling to me as a reader, but like it is like that piece of like this feels like the perfect storm. Like this person, Jacob Tierney, like loved the books, is a fan, saw the value in the audiences. Like he's talked about reading and thinking about like there is a captive audience there that reads these books and loves them. Like how can I make this show for them?
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's these two kids,
source,
like Hudson and Connor, that are just like magic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Who also respect the source.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's so much, there's just a level of respect across the board with everybody, I think, that worked on it that we just don't see in romance projects.
You know, it's funny because I've been posting a couple of things about the show. Mostly I like repost people and reply, but I really have like a hard time with like smut. It's just smut, right? And then there was like this great moment in like the cottage episode, right, where Ilya says something like, you know, like you just like to be bad. And Shane's like, you know, that's not what this is, right? Maybe it was at first, but it's not now, and it hasn't been for a long time. And if I was the type of person who like had the know-how, that I would be like, it's just smut onto like Threads and Blue Sky, and then put like that scene. Because like the thing that romance also delivers, right, again, is like feelings. Romance is about feelings.
Yes.
And everything is leading up to the feelings that you are supposed to have as you are watching. And every single tool in the toolbox of like people's interpersonal relationships, sex, right? Like any kind of intimacy, conversation, touch, all of that is driving you towards a certain feeling.
Right.
And that's why it's such a great adaptation, right? The moments where, I mean, Hudson, the way Hudson could act, like just show what he was feeling with his eyes.
Yeah. Crazy.
And that is such a hallmark of romance, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
And I never thought I would be able to see that. Like in a romance novel, it's kind of like something you look into someone's eyes and then you see everything written in their face.
Yeah. And eyes welling up, like,
yes.
Oh
I mean, when they were rubbing feet on the couch, I mean,
no,
like what? I mean, what?
Bury me right here. Put my
you know,
let
when
my
they
be sitting in between their feet.
When you have the callback under the table where they slide their feet together, which is the callback to the the press conference. I mean, dead.
And then
deceased.
The moment when like. Okay, we're talking about the last episode now. There's a lot of spoilers. Sorry. And so there's the moment where, you know, Ilya comes to the cottage and he's like giving him the tour, and like basically the dialogue there is like word for word the dialogue from the book, and he's like, no, I want the room with the king size bed, whatever. And they get into Shane's room and they start making out, and it's like a exact parallel to that first time they made out, where they were like in darkness. And then, you know, Hudson starts trying to Shane starts to like lowering the shades, and Ilya's like, no, like we're doing this in the light of day.
God. Can we just have a moment of appreciation for the bellboy exchange? Like, I died.
And again, like every departure from the original source just made everything better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although it was we're just obviously talking out of order. This isn't like a straight recap. I was really interested though in the changed why Shane's dad was in Shane's cottage, right?
Oh, instead of dishwasher tab?
Yeah, right. So in the book, he's like, I need dishwashers or whatever.
Yeah.
Too far for the store. And I was and so in this one, he's like, it was a phone charger. And I was like, sir, you're just like being a sneak, like, because how have you been charging your phone for days?
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I did think to myself, is this the parents just being like checking in on Shane? Right. Like, and then like in the last episode where he's like, I am a fully grown adult. Like, there are ways in which like they clearly still baby him. Right. So I did find myself wondering if that was, if we were, or if I'm just overthinking just entirely.
I mean, as a parent of an only child, probably they were just checking in on him.
Right? Didn't you feel that way?
He had a concussion.
Yeah, he was a silent meditation retreat. I mean,
exactly. No, I mean,
well, there is in the All-Star game where the parents don't come and he says, I didn't feel like being managed this weekend.
Yes.
So yeah, I would probably say you're right.
And also now this is also another interesting thing in the book, when Shane and Ilya go into his parents' house, it's clear to Shane that his dad has told his mom.
Yeah.
And this was played more like she was like, tell us what? Like he was like Shane himself sort of stumbling to like get the words out, right?
Yeah.
And that maybe he hadn't told her. So I did think that some of that scene was different in a way that like kind of was interesting, especially as it sort of put, I don't know, like I was really moved by his mom apologizing.
Yes.
Yeah,
asking for forgiveness and understanding that she had been the impediment to Shane telling his parents.
Yeah.
Right. And him saying, I forgive you, Mom. I mean, I really was. I made a list of times I cried and that was on it.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
when he was like when he was apologizing.
Yes.
Saying, I really tried. I'm really sorry. I mean, oh my God.
That was heartbreaking. I mean, and I think honestly, like part of like there's always this discourse around, a lot of romance that's out there. It's written by women, by cis women. Some are queer, some are not. Rachel specifically is bisexual, but like there is a lot of discourse around where it's an accurate representation of the gay, of a gay, like a gay man's like lived experience. But to me, it's really interesting, like the kind of combination of like Rachel's work and then Jacob as a gay man of a certain age, right? He's like in his 40s. So he's like around my same age, which means he kind of came of age around the same time I did, which was like right on the heels of the AIDS pandemic. And like really being able to like see this piece of fiction and like really take it and do such a faithful but like loving interpretation of these boys and like their coming out story. Like it's just so moving. Like to me, like it's so sexy too. Like the book, like that series to me, I have never seen sex on screen that did more for me in terms of the feelings than this show. And I really do believe a lot of it is obviously the environment, how it was shot, like the way they shot the cinematography of the show is a revelation to me.
Yeah.
It was so close. Like whenever they said something important, the camera was right there. The camera was right in their face.
Yeah. Well,
like
and I think
were with them.
Yeah. Well, I think this is something too, like sex on screen is typically, it's violent, right? It's sexual violence. It's titillating. It's for like the purposes of kind of like the audience. And this sex was all about them. Like, I mean, it feels almost like you're a voyeur in the room because they're so locked in on each other. But like the way that, like the evolution, I mean, it's like if you can't see the evolution of their sex from like hooking up to being in love, then I don't know what you were watching, right? Like that's how it, I don't know what you were watching, but it wasn't what I was watching, right?
But we always say, the sex scenes have to move the plot forward, and in every case in this show, it did.
Yeah. Yes.
They did. Yeah. I mean, and to me, part of it is like, part of what a romance novel does, it gives you the inside, right? Like it gives you like, there's a juxtaposition between what is said and then what's going on inside. And like, that's where like all the big feelings happen. It's like, we're actually in their heads and we know what they're thinking. There's a scene in episode 6 from the book, which is one of my favorite like interior moments of Shane in the books, where they're talking about like his parents, they're like eating hamburgers or whatever, and Ilya starts asking about Shane's parents, and in Shane's head, like Shane asks him like, do you want to meet them? And Ilya's like, maybe. And in Shane's head, he's like, that's something he's been obsessing over. Like he has fantasies of Ilya just meeting his parents and like seeing the people that he loves the most in the same room together. Yeah. And like he has this like beautiful like internal like kind of moment of just like, I love this man so much, and like my parents don't know that he and I have this, and I just want to see it happen. And you know, there's no way that they could have made that, rendered that in the show,
right?
But Hudson and Connor were just so effective as Shane and Ilya that I didn't feel like we didn't have the gravity of like where they were with each other. Like they were just so locked into each other at that point that you could feel a lot of the things that like we could not possibly have had from the books.
I was really like, I think the thing that's also in terms of like the whole show, I was really interested in like how masterful it was. Like every episode's really different. Like when you think about like, for example, the beginning of episode 4, right, where it's like the like long scene where it's like you see them like hitting the boards and then
the montage,
bed, right? Like, and it's everything's just like sped up. Everything's so fast, right? Like the super cuts about like 6 months later, 20, you know what I mean? Boom, 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 time. And then they get to the cottage and it's just like luxuriating and it's just them.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's also really interesting is like, you know, you see Shane is so like fucking wound so tight for most of the, and then when they get there, he's the one who knows actually how to relax.
Yes.
Right. Like when they're like looking in the fire and Ellie's like, I'm just supposed to look at it. He was like, yes. And I thought like that was the part too, where you just realize like, this is what these two deserve, right? They've never had this opportunity to just be with each other.
Right.
And I am sure that there are people who were watching and thinking, oh, they're going to have a fight or they're not going to, you know what I mean? And instead it's like every moment is them just like, and when Shane says like, let's promise to be honest with each other about how we feel. I mean, then that's the thing, like the timing of this episode feels so different. Like nothing is weighing on them.
Yeah.
And I just found that like the storytelling overall through all 6 episodes, like, right, leads us to a place where like we just get them out of time, literally, right?
Yeah.
And just like sun-soaked, there's no closet anymore. They're literally living in a glass house, you know? And I just thought it was so beautiful, like, right? Like the way that like the sun was on their faces. And I mean, I just was like, it was literally beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, the choices that like around
Joanna's like, what am I going to say?
I can't. I just really can't.
Yeah, you loved this, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I have a whole like list of like moments that, you know, I just absolutely loved. I mean, you know, we got like the stupid Canadian wolf bird. I mean, you know, the call with Hayden, which I wasn't sure they were going to do.
How does that man have so many children? Like,
I know.
Sir.
It's a problem. It's a real
because he had 4 at the beginning of whatever. There's 5 kids.
I mean, slow it down, buddy.
That was another difference though, because in the book, Hayden does know that Shane is gay and figures out that it's Ilya, right?
No, not until the end.
Right.
But that's right. But like that was another difference I'm saying, right? Like
by the point of that call, he doesn't know.
Right.
But I think.
Oh, is it in the epilogue?
It was the epilogue.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
In the book, there is there's a final scene where they're giving like a press conference to announce a charity that they're going to be doing together. And then by that point, Hayden does know.
Yeah, because in the game, they have the game, and he says, "I can't believe he's your," and Shane says, "Shut it." He's like, "I'm gonna punch him if he doesn't cool it."
Right.
And like Ilya, of course, gets punched in the face for the press
Right.
conference and has a black eye for the press conference.
But we don't see that on the page.
No,
There's
right.
reference to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice the flannel shirt
Yes.
swap?
Yes.
Yes.
Shane was wearing Ilya's shirt, or
Ilya was wearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what a touch.
There's so much like romance coded, like romance reader coded,
the glasses,
like, witty things in this show.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I was trying to figure it out, right? Because I mean, I was like, is it that like he somehow has found a shorthand? But I think Jacob Tierney is a person who can understand, like, who is attuned to the things that make romance reading 84. Like, I think he gets those delicious things that we think are delicious. Like that moment when like Ilya's sitting on the rock and the sun's coming up, and Shane brings him like the cup of coffee and like the blanket. And it's just like a little moment, but that is just like romance reader.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, let me die right there on that next to that rock. Like, I don't need anything else.
Just like, leave me here. Like, leave me here. Like, put my headstone here. When Ilya, let's talk about the I love you, because I really
another time I cried.
Because
we're gonna watch you cry right here, aren't we?
And in the book, it's so great. Like in the moment when they say I love you, like they are figuring out how they're gonna move forward. Like the whole last third of that book, or like the whole last 25% of that book when they're at the cottage, is like almost like a fast forward. Like every conversation they have is like, this is how we're gonna do it. Like you go, you're gonna sign with Ottawa, you're gonna be closer. How are we gonna like end this rivalry narrative? Blah 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 blah. And so the cottage episode also kind of has that same pacing. But when like Shane wakes Ilya up in the middle of the night to be like, this is how we're gonna do it,
right?
And Ilya like starts telling him he loves him in Russian, and then starts crying.
Amazing.
I can't.
And says I love you, and then the I love you back, it just explodes. Like Shane is like, oh my god, thank God you said it. Like, it like, exploded out of him. That's the moment where like it's like this is why I love romance now.
Yes.
These moments like this are like why, like, romance is like the greatest love of my life.
Right. It's like it's why we do what we do.
Yeah. I think the thing that was also like, so I think one of the things that was really interesting to me is like at some point very early on, someone was like, and it's on like on Threads maybe, I don't even remember who. It's like, oh, I can read Heated Rivalry. Somebody said there's no third act breakup. Now this is like a romance convention every day. I was literally like, I rolled my eyes just like Joanna did. This is a romance like plotting convention, like, right, where essentially like you have to put your characters through the test, right? Whether or not you like it or not kind of doesn't matter. But I was like, this is such a fundamental misunderstanding of this text, because all they do is break up at the beginning.
Correct.
Because they cannot be together.
Correct.
The trick of the book, the work, is to put them together in a way where these two finally are like, this is what we want. We are in love. We can talk to each other about our families. We can be at peace with each other. We are out of the spotlight. We are going to let all that go. That's the work of the book. It is an inverse in many ways of like typical romance plotting.
And I think it's because like, sorry, but one of the things that I think, as someone that writes queer romance from the point of view, like, how do you make this work in terms of like queer romance telling has a different cadence to it, because there is truly the choice between identity and happiness. And like in romance, in romance with straight couples, it is more of you are again choosing identity over love, but it's more figurative.
Yes.
It's not a true literal, like
yes.
for Shane and Ilya to
and
be
Scott Hunter
open about
Right.
their sexuality. It really is choosing between their lives and the lives that they've been working towards, like what they've wanted their whole life. And there's a different cadence to that.
Yeah.
Because the stakes are palpable throughout, and it's a real like life or death, like identity, like task. Like Shane couldn't tell his mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and Scott Hunter, I think that's why the other thing that was added, right, is Scott Hunter's speech, at least right to the beginning of this episode. And I think it's like why that it's like such an important framing device, right, for him to say like, and I think like explicitly name like the homophobia of like the National Hockey League, right? Like,
yeah.
I grew up and I heard how people talked about people like, I heard how my teammates and other people in hockey talked about people like me.
Yeah.
And when he talked about, like, I mean, again, a time I cried, right? How lonely it was for him.
Yeah.
How isolating. That, like, it doesn't matter if you've achieved, like, the greatest pinnacle of your sport if you cannot be yourself when that happens. And I think that's why, right? Like, when Shane at the end, right, it was really interesting. Shane's dad was like, did you talk to Scott Hunter?
Right.
And it was Ilya who's like, I did, right? And it changed something for me, for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's really powerful. And I think that's the part about the show. Not every, and like, again, I think a real valid critique is like, not every romance or queer story should be a coming out story.
Yeah.
Right. And I think you've written ones that have not been, but I mean, I think that in this case it is. And there's like a really valid reason why they felt like they had to be closeted, which I think the show does a masterful job of showing the pressure of that and like what it's going to do to them. And even Shane's mom, who was sort of, he couldn't tell her when they were like, yeah, we're just going to be this way till we retire. She's like, that's terrible. That's so sad.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that, you know, Rachel has said that she wrote this before she knew sort of any of the romance, quote unquote, rules. And, you know, this was written when she was just starting to write and no one ever told her.
Yeah.
And no one ever told her, oh no, you can't, you know, this is not how, you know,
how it's structured. It's not how it's done,
right. This is not the regular structure of a romance. And I think that it's one of the reasons that it works for me so well is because it is not a regular structure. Like I mean, I love the way it goes back and forth and the time.
Because again, and to me, like I really do think about it, and I've talked to both of you many times about this. I think queer romances, they can, of course, they can fold in every convention of like a general, like a straight romance novel, but the storytelling and the pacing is different for a coming out story. Because the breakup and like the tension of like losing it all is there from the beginning.
Yes.
Like from the first moment, everything just gets you closer and closer to losing it all, but like not figuratively, not like you're losing, like, you're grappling with the lies that you told yourself or whatever. Like all of that is real, but it's also like, you know, like you could be like shunned, like you could lose your life. Like it is just, I think, just like a different,
you could lose your citizenship. I mean, look at like Ilya saying, I can't go back home. Right. Like that's not, these are real stakes.
No, I mean, it's
Shane, like, hello, sir, why are you not like, do you not know? Like, how could you not know?
And he's like,
about Russia? What?
Right.
One thing that I have really, it's been really beautiful. Like been beautiful to see one like gay man like really coming into the show initially. Like I've seen so many, even one of my best friends who, you know, in the beginning he was like, this is kind of like soft porn. And I'm like,
Smut.
I think you should keep watching. And like by episode 4, he was like, okay.
My brother too, right? I mean, he's not a reader. He's never read a romance. And he was like, I'm really locked in. I was like,
yeah. By 5, like this is literally like moving, like it's like really affected him. And like having a scene like older gay men getting to see this when I mean, even in the beginning I was telling, like I was like crying like episode 3, I'm like, I never thought, like as someone who was like kind of coming of age in the 90s and like really kind of in that space of like the post AIDS pandemic, like I just didn't think we could ever get to see something like this.
Yeah, it was still don't ask, don't tell. I mean, post Reagan nonsense. I mean, yeah.
I think she'll come back. Yeah. I hope she'll come back. Adriana, come back. She will.
Come back.
Well, and I mean, I think that's like why the timeline of the show is so important, right?
Yes,
it's not now, right? It's not. Yeah, I think the thing about, I was like, she'll come back. Had you completed your thought, or do you want to?
No, I mean, I think it's just seeing that piece of the healing. I think people, and it's that thing of like, why don't gay men read more romance? And it's part of like, well, they're trapped in the cage of patriarchy too.
Of course.
And like, you don't know, like, it's, I think part of like, you don't know what you're allowed to experience, feel, see until it's given to you, right? Like, I think a lot of gay men are also in this like patriarchy cage where like why would they think that they can get to just see a show that's about queer joy when everything we've gotten is like, you know, they're lovers and then someone dies of AIDS, or they're lovers, or there's someone has to go back to their wives or whatever. So I think it is that piece of like, this is like revelatory for them too.
Yeah.
I have heard from people regarding this show that I have not heard from in a long time, and like started text threads about this show with people I haven't talked to in a long time, that we have never connected over a TV show like we have with this. I mean, you know, straight women my age, gay men my age. I mean, it's just been the community of it all, and like the sharing week to week of the joy, and like just the absolute roller coaster ride has been fun.
It feels like collectively like we are, and especially after this super shitty year, where we feel like we're being like torn to shreds like every time we watch the news or see what's happening. One thing that I wanted to point out, and it was something that someone posted that really moved me. It was a younger gay man who said that he like talks to his stepmom. I don't know if you guys saw this. He talks to like his older stepmom, who's like a 70-year-old woman, every week. And he was like talking to her about the show. And he was like, it's so weird because like the people that are really into this show are like gay men and like middle-aged women. And he was like, well, middle-aged women are like, we're in the trenches with gay men, like during the AIDS pandemic. Afterward, they've been like the secret keepers, they've been the confidants, they've been the people that have like been the first to hear that, you know, who our friends came out to, who our friends came to after a breakup. And like, this is important to them because they've been living through they've been in these friendships with men their whole lives.
Right.
And I was like, I was like, this is true for me personally. Like
for me too.
Yeah. You know, I have,
and I think
that person then, for so many friends.
I think for our generation too, right? It's like, it's that, but it's also now a real fear that like our children and their friends and like the generation that follows is going to be back there.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I want to say like, it's not just that like I have, you know, have this experience with like friend, like, right. Like it's that, but also, right. Like, how do I make sure that our kids are the next generation, Gen Z doesn't have to feel this way? isn't, you know, because that is the work that is being done in America right now. How can we like strip queer people of their rights? How can we force them back into the closet? How can we make it impossible for trans people to like exist in our country? And so I think the thing is it's that, but also we have to make sure this world exists.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's the work too. It's like, what are you going to do about it? Right. Who are you going to support? What is the organization in your neighborhood that, you know, is supporting queer and trans youth? Or, so, I mean, I think that's the other thing.
Well, I like a lot of I've seen a lot of posts that have said, if you're enjoying Heated Rivalry, make sure you're voting with, you know, along the same lines. Like, you cannot love the queer sex in this show and then vote to take rights away.
Right.
Like, just fuck off with that nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, it will be interesting to see. I mean, I think to me, again, and it's hard to know because algorithms are weird, but it does feel to me like this has gone way past like because my algorithm is gay stuff and romance. So like I obviously I'm the person that is going to be served.
You're right in.
You're like, I'm in
my
the
Venn diagram is just a circle. Like I am literally the demographic. So I think for like in the beginning it really felt like, is it
just us? Right.
Is it me?
Well, at the point when like Lyft, the car ride sharing company, is sending out a thing that's like, use the code Shane and Ilya to go to your watch party, it does feel like maybe it's a little bigger than us now.
It is,
you know?
It is, yeah, I mean,
crazy.
One thing that I will say is like this year's like I feel like romance is in a really weird place for me as a reader. I think romance is
agree.
You know, it's for the past 3 years, romance has like had an extreme boom, like in terms of readership, and like print sales are like at an all-time high. Like it's really been, but to me as a reader, like I'm finding less and less books that deliver for me
this experience,
the feeling of euphoria and like the cathartic, like romance reading that I crave. And I've been doing a lot of rereading because of that. Like I think this year, probably in the last year, like more than like 2/3 of what I'm reading is like rereads.
Same.
I'm reading like 100, 200 books that I just read again and again.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to me because Heated Rivalry is a 7-year-old book, it's a 6-year-old book. Like Rachel and I debuted at the same time in the same imprint with Series in 2019. This book is 6 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
And I do wonder if this will bring readers into like perhaps going to older books. Because I think, I mean, I'm not saying that there's not great new romance coming out. It just, especially in contemporary, like I miss books like this.
Yes, 100%.
Where the stakes are high, the emotions are just crackling.
Yeah, dialed up to 11,000.
I mean, you could probably name like a dozen books that, I mean, probably a handful of books in the last 3 or 4 years that had this same ride, the same feeling. Yeah, they're just not around. I'm not finding them.
Yeah, I mean, in contemporary, I think you could still like. There's like, I think historical still has books that are coming out where like think there is like that kind of work being done, but like, and it is true. Like this book just has like Rachel was like very smart, like at a craft level. And I know it's, I mean, it's one of those books that reads like, it's like I call them the Athena books. Like they read like they came out
of someone's head.
Out of the author's head.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of books that I have, like Lord of Scoundrels is also like an Athena book to me that like.
Well, and this is what I was telling someone like last night we were at dinner, and I was like, you have to understand that there's like a handful of romances that like are God tier.
Yeah.
Right. Literally, where everyone who reads them is like, this And
special.
Heated Rivalry is one of them.
Yeah.
Lord of Scoundrels is one of them, right? Where you're just like, these are books that somehow capture, right? Bet Me, I would say, is probably another one for
Yes.
me, where I'm like, I would give, if anyone was like, I think I want to read a romance, I have a handful of books where I'm like, if you don't like this book, then you just don't like romance.
Yeah, Devil in
And
Winter.
Heated Rivalry is
Yeah.
one of them. This is a
Yeah.
book that is so loved by people who read it. It like delivers exactly what a great romance should. And to have a TV show deliver that too, we never thought we'd get that.
It's just
Magic.
special. And
Yeah.
it is a special book. It is one of those books that, I mean, and you both know this, like I recommend this book
Yes.
constantly and have for years.
We did this episode of Fated Mates because you were like, what is wrong with you two? You have to do this book.
It
Right?
is the perfect forbidden romance. Like to
Yes.
me, there really is like, first of all, I do believe, and I am not being hyperbolic here. Like I actually do believe that this is probably the best sports romance that I really do
Yeah,
believe.
I would agree.
I
I would agree.
Yeah.
I don't think you can like. Of course, there's a great sports romance. As you know, I'm a Susan Elizabeth Phillips scholar,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
like, it's not like I'm saying that like.
PhD.
But Susan Elizabeth Phillips hasn't written a book where the actual sport
Correct.
drives pretty much the entire story.
Right.
This is a workplace romance in some ways,
Yeah.
right? And that's right. And it's like in Susan Elizabeth Phillips, like football is just like what they do. It is not who they
Right.
are.
Right.
Yes. No, I mean, I think I would have, if somebody tells me it's not, they have to show their work. They have to bring me a book
Yeah.
that is a better sports romance than Heated Rivalry, because I don't think it exists.
No.
I haven't found it. If it's out there, I would love to
I don't
read
think
it.
it exists. I think this is it. I think this is the one. I mean, I
And
think
we've
there's
done
great, like,
3
Katie
episodes on
Hoffman's
sports romance that are
prospects.
all great. But yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
read a lot of great ones, but nothing.
Well, yeah, there's the Prospects by KT Hoffman to me is also like another one of those like fantastic queer romances that is really, really, really beautifully captures like the love of the sport.
Yeah. I would say for me, just a debut from this year is called, I think it's called Play Me For It by Samantha Saldivar. And it was great. It's a lesbian romance where the one woman is the first female head coach of an NCAA men's basketball team, and the other woman is a reporter. And for both of them, like, right, like a lot of the exploration is like their identities in those jobs and the glass ceiling essentially that exists for women in sports. And I think that it is really terrific at exploring like sort of that level, but you know what I mean? As a romance, I don't think it is anywhere. You know what I mean? Like the romance part of it is not what Heated Rivalry is, but like that's fine. You're saying right the best, but I will say in terms of like a sports romance I read this year that I felt like really leaned into like, okay, here's 2 women who are falling in love, but like because of their jobs, they are at odds, right? Like, you know, something's happening on the team. And if I tell you you're a reporter, right? And then, but like also their individual journeys with like how sports treats women, especially when they are seen as encroaching on like men's sports. That would be, I would say, like a really good one this year.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's also part of like, I think what people have been saying that romance hits different because women don't want to think about women and misogyny, which I think is
that's a whole other problem.
That's a whole other lie.
Not my problem, right?
But yeah, I mean, I think, but there is like, that is kind of it, right? Like there is, in men's sports, there is still that friction of like homophobia. Like in women's sports, like you can be out.
Right.
Oh, in the WNBA, I mean, like half the drama and like amazement of the WNBA is like, you know, that Dejanay Carrington right is dating someone on another team and like like so I think that it's totally different.
Yeah.
And that I think is what again makes this the conflict. I mean, like, so a really good romance is like asking a lot of questions, like why can't they be together right now? And if and this book has a pretty amazing answer for that.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just like Shane's shame and his fear of telling his parents. It is the world that they exist in, the world of hockey.
Right, which is
And
why Ilya being Russian is so smart.
And
because there's
Ilya
a
being Russian,
whole
and
other
the
level.
moment, yes,
Yeah.
the moment where that book was written, where it was so much in the news.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's still terrible, but yeah.
Well, I mean, like, again, back to the WNBA, look what happened to Brittany Griner, right? Like, the idea that it's just like everywhere is safe and no
Yeah.
problem. And I think that I mean, this book predated Brittany Griner being arrested and held in a Russian prison for a year, but you know, that's yeah. I don't know.
mean,
This
it's just
book did
great.
everything, right? This show did everything.
It is, I mean, it really is the perfect, it's like a perfect storm. It's the right book. It fell into the right hands. They cast the
The right
exact
people.
perfect
Oh.
people, like these actors. I think, I mean, I am curious about season 2 because like we in real time have watched Connor and Hudson become superstars.
Yes.
Like they, not only are they beautiful and their chemistry is literally unreal.
Bananas.
You can pay for that.
I saw Connor on a, I don't know, podcast or something, somebody, and this guy was like, do you have chemistry with everyone? And I was like, I think he probably does. Let's be for real.
He's
Yeah.
just a star. But like like, you know, like I think it's like being able to hire actors who are just so hungry to do something amazing and just put their entire
Fearless.
heart into something.
Absolutely fearless, right?
Right. So what does that mean?
Fearless.
What does that mean for season 2?
What does that mean for season 2?
Yeah.
Because it's got, the whole world is watching.
Right.
You know,
Well, I have got to say, I trust Jacob Tierney, right?
I trust
Of
them and I
course.
trust them.
Of
Like, I
course.
think
Yeah.
these guys are so like genuinely grateful that they got to do this show.
Yeah.
And it just really comes through. I mean, like, they're just like, every time they have an interview, they, you know, credit Rachel, have such respect for Rachel's work in the books. So I mean, I am very curious. Of course I'm going to be watching. I feel like we should have a watch party for every single episode that comes out.
I mean, it would be great.
But yeah,
it'll probably happen. Okay, so as writers, as romance writers, what was like the scene work, or like what, you know, like what did you guys love the most? Because I know we have to wrap up soon for Adriana. So like, any of you want to like weigh in on like Joanna, like what you're like, I came with notes.
I think the thing that I guess looking ahead in season 2 and sort of knowing what is coming in season 2, the moment for me was Ilya saying she would have loved you like I love you. That makes me want to cry right now.
Yeah.
That was on my list of times I cried.
I mean, that's like a real punch in the chest. I mean, that
the
like
delivery of it.
Yes,
the
delivery of it.
Yeah. Well, and I think the thing I want
to
say
too, the soft moments for me.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, I think like I was really thinking like the other thing about romance, right, is like you connect in some way to like a moment in your life where like someone has said like, this person I loved would have loved you. Right. I mean, so it's like, right. Like our ability, like it's so deeply human in that moment.
Yeah. As a big old gay, like, I think to me, like, again, because and I said, I think the queer romance storytelling in this book and in this, how Jacob did it, I think is really honoring a lot of the people that have had to live in the closet or haven't known themselves for a long time. And like that moment when they're on the couch and he's talking about marrying Svetlana, and like when I was 21, my cousin married his boyfriend's best friend so that he could get a green card so they could be together. Like literally, I planned the wedding, and like I was like the best. Like, you know, I like did this whole thing because they wanted to be together and he couldn't. And we were like, this was like, you know, in the early 2000s, we were like in our early 20s. And it was hard. Like it broke the relationship. And so like to see Shane be like, don't marry her.
Don't.
Like, please don't.
There's
do
another
it.
way.
Like it will kill me.
Yeah.
if you do that. It literally broke me. Like I was like I have like seen someone live through this, and it's like Jacob just like I think it's that piece of like Jacob took this work, and as a man that has lived through that, has just gave, I think, queer people like these moments of like I have seen your pain, and like I'm giving you something that can heal it. And like honestly, like it's just like this show is just he is so special. It's so special.
I mean, I really think we've seen a shift. Like, this is a cultural phenomenon, like that will, who knows what the ripple effects will be, but an absolute phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know, the thing for me that I really keep thinking about is like great romance is about kissing. I mean, like people are like, it's smut, it's about sex. Okay, you can think that. Great romance is about kissing. And just like when, you know, they're in the car and like they're kind of holding hands, it's so sweet. But then like I literally burst into tears the first time that Ilya kisses Shane in the cottage. You know what he's sort of talking about as well. And I just was like,
and the smacking kisses, they're so loud.
Yes, like just like how, I mean, all of the times that, and it's not like something, just like that connection. And I don't know, I really just feel like the romance of it all for me was about their faces, their eyes, right? Them kissing way more than it was. And, you know, great. It was hot. I loved it. All that. Yay. I love to see it. Sex does work. But like, I just felt like everything about this show was so tender.
So
the kiss at the parents' house.
When he's like,
when Shane is having a panic attack.
Oh my, I have rewatched that moment 40 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that
even
does
when like
not get better.
Like Ilya's like splashing him with water and then goes like, give me a kiss.
Give me a kiss. I was like that. And I think that's the thing I really feel like, you know, sometimes in a romance, I mean, we're talking about like romance now versus then, like, I'm like, where is the kissing?
Yeah.
Where, excuse me, what are you doing? You know, and every great romance, like, right. We've talked about like Jeannie Lynn's book. I'm like spacing out. Oh, Butterfly Swords. Like, right. Like the first time they kiss, it's just like, this is all I want. And the show delivers it. Yeah. And that's why, right. Going back to, we didn't even kiss, right. We didn't even kiss. The biggest heartbreak in a romance.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So good.
No, I mean, it really is masterful. Like it is a masterful adaptation. It is just the most beautiful romance.
Yeah. God. I mean, I've watched it 3 times, and I'm ready to go sit down and watch it for a 4th.
Right, I'm going to a watch party tonight to watch the last episode in a bar, and I'm so excited.
I'm so jealous.
I'm going to take video for both of you because you will be jealous.
Please do.
Yeah.
Because I just think joy. Pure joy.
Yeah.
What a gift. Like truly it is a gift for some, and people that didn't know they needed, because we know romance. Like we give this to ourselves all the time. Like the joy of a good romance. But people that didn't know they could give themselves this. Like I saw so many posts of gay men being like, I'm still afraid something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So like they could not believe that they would just get the happy ending.
Yeah.
Just like burnished with gold sunlight for an entire episode.
Driving off into the sunset. Jacob Tierney.
I mean, the first time when they were driving to the cottage, where Ilya reaches over and grabs Shane's hand, I like squealed. Like I was like just an absolute like. Yeah.
It's like he had like a Greek choir of romance readers on his, like behind him being like, do this, do that. Yes. Some people just have it. Like every time I hear Jacob Tierney talking about romance, it's like you get it at a cellular level. Like this, no one can teach you how to see the joy and value in this. Like you have to feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have that sensibility.
Let him adapt every every romance adaptation from now on.
The part where Shane says, like, how did we let this happen? And Shane says, we were both stupid and
Stupid and
irresponsible.
irresponsible.
Yeah.
God.
And
Feelings.
they are just
I know.
doing it. Okay.
Yeah,
Like, this
so
is
good.
like, oh,
All right.
sweaty.
Okay. Since I know you have to go, you were like, I have a hard stop. Someone says, okay, what could I read after Heated Rivalry? What can give me these feelings? What other romance book could give me the feelings I just had watching Heated Rivalry? What would you say? I'm sorry. I'm not interviewing you, but you know how I am. Go ahead.
I will say I really like Us, or Him and Us by Elle Kennedy and Serena Bowen.
Yeah.
College set, time jump. They fall in love, at hockey camp in the summertime, and then
those are good.
That's a duet that I reread
like
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. I rarely self-recommend, but I actually think my book Finding Joy, I actually reread it because I had to, because I'm redoing the audiobook recently, and it is not a sports romance, but it's a romance set in Ethiopia where one of the men can't be out for obvious reasons. And it has a lot of those same, like, it has a lot of yearning, and there's like a lot of like, they can't obviously be themselves in public because
you're right,
it's illegal to be gay in Ethiopia. And so it is also kind of like that struggle of someone like who can't be himself in his homeland.
Yeah.
Too. And so I think that one actually is a good comp for this.
Yeah. I think that is a good comp. I was thinking again, because like I feel like the comp isn't about like hockey necessarily. It's about the feelings. And so I was actually thinking like one of my favorite actually, not one of my actual favorite KJ Charles book is Band Sinister.
Oh yeah.
And what it has is like guy he like doesn't even know being gay is possible.
Yeah.
And his sister is injured. This is a historical, right? And he's like taken next door to like, the local bad boys home where the whole world opens up in front of him in every way. And I do think in some ways like that sort of, right? Like it has the same, obviously like pressure, secrecy, the same conflict, but like the idea of like a world being opened up for you and then like deciding you want it. Because I think the thing about these last 2 episodes in particular that really moved me is like Shane's determination to figure out how to make this work.
Yeah.
This is what I want now. Yeah. And I think that Band Sinister has like a very similar kind of one person who doesn't know anything and one person who's like almost jaded. And then together they create something like new and beautiful. Yeah. So I was thinking that like the feelings wise, that Band Sinister might be a good
a good one. Yeah, that is a good one.
Well, you know me, I'm really literal. I'm like, oh, hockey.
Another
hockey romance.
People are gonna want that. I mean, I don't think that's like a bad thing.
Caveat, because this is like someone, but Amy Lane has an much older book. Like it's like maybe from like 2008 called The Locker Room. The cover's terrible, but it's kind of like The Blind Side meets like kind of Heated Rivalry. They're basketball players and they've been together since they were teenagers. Like one of them has like a really bad home situation and the family ends up kind of like taking him in. And then you see them through their their NBA careers, like high school, college, and throughout the year. I mean, it is a lot more angsty and it's a little dated in certain ways. But if you want like a sports romance, The Locker Room by Amy Lane, I think really kind of delivers a lot in the same way that, but that's like a deep cut.
Well, and Joanna, you wrote one of, I don't know if can you self-recommend as Mila Finelli? I'm like, your assassins.
Oh yeah, Mafia Target. Assassin and
right, like the whole idea of being forbidden.
Yeah. I mean, he's been hired to kill him, so
I mean, Heated Rivalry
makes it a little hard to be together.
Little Romance it keeps calling it Heated Rivalries, and I'm like, one rivalry. It's one rivalry. Oh, well, so beautiful.
Oh,
what a time.
I'm so sad it's over. What a time.
You know what? You can just rewatch it.
Yeah.
I will.
You can read it.
I will.
Have all those feelings anytime you want.
I can't wait for my merch to come in January.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for the jerseys to come back in stock. I don't know. It's a real problem.
This show has made me feel like I could literally run through walls for like 5 weeks straight. And I am so grateful because we all needed this, like, especially at this time.
Yeah.
The news has been so horrible.
I'm curious whether both of you feel like would it have been this if it had been released in one block?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think like the one, right, you get two and then it's like the conversation and everyone talking about it. Yeah, I think it's
I agree.
I will say the funniest meme I saw was like Stranger Things. It was like a car on like the railroad tracks that said Stranger Things, and then like a huge train runs right through it, and it's labeled Heated Rivalry, and it did really laugh. That's how it felt.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the zeitgeist. Like, it's just taken over.
Well, and I think it gives us the gift of like really feeling, right? Feeling our feelings, talking about it, having that water cooler moment, right? Like talking about it in my 700 group chats with the guy at the front desk at work, with my friends, in romance, my friends outside romance, my brother, right? Like my Discord. So that's the part too. It's like that feeling like you get when everybody is like locked into the same thing and talking.
Yeah.
I didn't actually let myself look at social media this morning before we recorded. I didn't want to know what anybody else was saying because I just wanted to feel what I was feeling. Yeah.
Well, they're freaking the fuck out. So just in case you're,
I would hope so.
Every minute of it.
God,
it's just so overwhelmingly positive that, and I just feel like we all needed this. Like, I hope the gay men who have found the show come to romance. They deserve to read books about happy endings. And
there's so many great gay romances written by gay men. I mean, we haven't mentioned like C. Travis Rice. We haven't mentioned, I mean, a lot of people like Tal Bauer. I mean, like there's so many great.
Gregory Ash has a great mystery series.
Yeah. So
I think there's a lot out there for them, and I hope they come to it because they deserve it. All right, I gotta go. I love you guys.
I love you. It's been so fun watching this show
with you guys.
It's been the best.
All right, somebody put it on social media. I don't know how anything works.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.